At half of the press. Well, my people, me here for drop the real news, news, reviews, everything in a one right this or right there, my people. So all I want to know to do is like up the video, share out the video, subscribe to my channel, my people. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Let's get right into it.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also.
A blessed good day to you, my wisdom warriors. Wagwan, wagwan. I hope you guys are in good spirit. Well, a Jamaican man was arrested and charged on Monday for stealing at a mall in New York in the United States and is currently being detained by the U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement. Ramika Campbell, 27, of a Queens, New York address, was arrested after he was caught stealing merchandise from Macy's at the Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream, according to Nassau County Police. My wisdom warriors, on here wagwan from Watagwan, Jamaican man charged for shoplifting at a mall in New York, and now he is detained by ICE.
Members of the business community, people who are interested in politics, people who love Andre Horton, people who love both. It's a pleasure to be here. I got to know Andre, I think through ganja, to be honest. Because I was very involved, as some of you may know, in the process leading up to Jamaica's pioneering reform, which is an unfinished business, but at the time was way ahead of other countries, other than Uruguay, who were pursuing a very different model. And Andre was interested in, I think, the transformational economic potential of ganja for ordinary Jamaicans and for the economy as a whole. So we got to know each other a bit. And then he came to see me at my law office. And he was kind of feeling out what it would mean for him to step into the political arena. And I must say, looking back on it now, it was an honor really that he felt compelled to come and see me. I was not party lead at the time, I don't think. That's before that. And that he felt comfortable reaching out to me to discuss the implications of what was for him a major decision in his life. We had a good talk and he stepped up. And as Kerry has said, Andre is one of the unique or few persons who put their hat in the ring, go into a seat, and the first time round is not his time. You know, the swing against the party was substantial in the 2020 elections. Many of my colleagues lost their seats. It's partly why I'm here now, to be honest. And Andre, as a novice really at that time in the politics, was up against the juggernaut of the JLP St. James machinery in 2020. And he did his best, but he didn't come through at that time. But to his credit, as has been said, he didn't run where left it. He stayed there. And he built on what his pre-2020 election work had achieved. And he also learned from the experience. And that's also very important. Andre is a learning individual. He doesn't think that he knows it all. You know, he's listening and he will adjust his strategy. He will adjust his tactics as he learns new facts or gets an appreciation of why things may be better if he takes a slightly different approach. I must say that I've been very impressed with his campaign in West Central.
Yeah, St. James.
Thank you. West Central St. James. Over the last couple of years. I've been down there several times. He put on a absolutely brilliant tournament was it football, futsal tournament, which was unique in its organization. For one thing, the matches didn't seem to start until like 2 in the morning. Very late, very late. I mean, way past what I would call my bedtime. But the community loved it, and they came out and supported it. Went on for several months, and he invited me to the finals. And of course, there was also a netball dimension to it as well for the ladies. And I think that tournament helped tremendously to solidify him in the hearts of the people, because he was bringing entertainment and excitement to them. He was reaffirming, the positive aspects of sport and the teamwork involved. And there was no violence. There was no issues or disruptions. And Mount Salem, is a community which has had its challenges. It's been under a zozo since 2017, I think. It was the first community, along with Denham Town, to be put into a zone of special operations. It was one of the two guinea pigs. And it's still, as is Denham Town, in that situation today. So it's 8 years now, getting on to be 8 years. So, but there was no issues with that tournament. And we had a more recent tour. And, he's a homeboy. He's from the community. And I think that has engendered his campaign with an emotional attachment, a real commitment to the upliftment of the youths who he grew up with and the people who he grew up seeing around him. And I think they're very proud of him. I mean, he was a stellar student, as I understand it, at UWI. And, became a young academic with great potential. And I think it's worth mentioning that he is really the only economist in either party's leadership team. So yeah.
There you go, my people. When you hear it from the man himself, Mark Jefferson Golden. Anyway, my people, I have a video clip what I want to know watch, because Andre Stevens interview Dr. Dawes, and me I tell you say Dr. Dawes exposed some things, my people. Literally, Dr. Dawes, I make we know say Cornwall Regional Hospital not done yet. Only one room alone done after 9 years. And Andrew Wellness I got cut ribbon and keep big something over there. Opening ceremony for one room. Mighty God of Daniel, they're terrible. A pure PR them do. Pure PR. You see what Andrew Wellness I do now? That thing did do to Portia, that thing did do to Portia. And poor Jamaican people, them that time they don't have a clue. But now, Andrew Wellness, what you do, you have to stop it. What you're doing, you have to stop it. You're not too wicked and stay bad. My wisdom warriors, taking Dr. Dawes.
Dr. Dawes, what is happening in Jamaica?
What is happening in Jamaica? Boy, right now we are in the midst of one of the most elaborate public relations campaign that is determined to get Jamaicans to believe that our lives are better off now under this administration and we're heading in the right direction. And that is why they're coming with this whole Choose Jamaica, where they're talking about the achievements. And they want to equate a lot of intangible solutions or projects that are not impacting us as being proof of their good work and progress. And nowhere is this seen more in health, because everybody knows that the health sector is collapsing. If you talk to doctors, nurses, janitors, repairmen who fixing the machines and can't get parts, ambulance drivers with no ambulances to drive, the patients waiting on benches and chairs, those waiting for surgeries for years, those who can't get beds, the mothers who are dying more now than in 1980. You realize that the system is far worse than it was before. And this is after the boast came out that money is not a problem. And more money is being spent on health now more than ever before. You know, they speak a lot about refurbishing, and when you look, you know, I see a video circulating with a TV in a waiting room to make, and it's a refurbished waiting room, but the people are on benches and chairs,
Mighty God.
but they are sleeping. You know, I get calls from all over. Someone will do surgery and they put them back in the wheelchair. Someone told me that they went to the hospital they took their husband to the hospital, one of my constituents, and someone was telling them that they need that wheelchair, they must go sit on the bench. And they said, no, it's my wheelchair. The hospital is even short of wheelchairs. We see news coming out now that patients can't get CAT scans because the government has stopped paying for them because they paid out so much money that they basically bankrupted that system, and they owe the creditors, the suppliers, the radiology centers a ton of money, and they just have to stop accepting government patients. Yet we are being told that all is well. Tomorrow there's going to be an opening ceremony for Cornwall Regional Hospital.
What them opening?
An opening ceremony for Cornwall Regional Hospital when less than 2% of the building is completed. They fixed up one room, and they're going to move in the administrative staff, some of the administrative staff, not even the full administrative department. The wards are still drywall putting up, the theaters far, the kitchen, the A&E, everything else is all concrete. Yet there's going to be a grand opening ceremony for Cornwall Regional tomorrow, and people are going to fall for it because that is their intention.
So yes, so basically is 2% of the building ready.
One room.
One room ready after 9 years?
After 9 years. They just, it's about 6 months now, they stopped tearing down walls and start to build up walls. They were still demolishing up to 6 months ago.
What you saying to me?
And this is after about $25 billion. And remember when Morris guy said this, when they went to Parliament and said it's going to cost 3 million, Dr. Guy said it's going to cost more than 5 billion. Yeah, 5 billion. They laughed at him and said he doesn't know where he's getting his facts from. Here we are at 25 billion and climbing.
Who remember that time, my wisdom warriors? Because me did show it over here. When Christopher Tufton a huff and a puff and a blow the house down, about a 5 billion it a go cost. Remember, say even Mark Golden came out and said it a go cost over 21 billion. Remember good, no? Just remember good. And Christopher Tufton reject claim and said nothing like that. Nothing like that. My wisdom warriors. And actually, they were telling the truth. Yeah, man. Mark Golden was telling the truth. Fly did I tell the truth. Mighty God of Daniel. Hey, they're not easy, you know. What them a do with so much of taxpayer money?
And we still are nowhere near to completion. Yet they're going to waste taxpayer dollars and have an opening ceremony.
After 9 years, Dr. Dawes?
After 9 years. And billions of dollars.
How much them owe the people them who do the radiology service and the diagnostic services?
Hundreds of millions, probably billions. Nobody truly knows. Nobody knows. Instead of using that money and outfitting the hospitals with our own radiology equipment, our own CAT scans, our own MRIs, they decided that they were going to pay out everything to private entities and outsource. You know how many CT scans that could have bought, you know how many MRIs that could have bought and serviced and maintained, because we have radiologists working in the hospitals to read the scans. But yet they outsource everything privately, and after those hundreds of millions of dollars and maybe even billions, we have nothing to show for it. The next PNP administration will still have to come in and find money to buy those machines.
Have you done a cost estimate of how much it would have cost in terms of purchasing machines for the hospitals? Have you done a cost estimate?
You know, it all depends on the brand you're going for and all that. But look, if you're going to look at, say, one company being owed about $500 million, one company, right? You could easily get a CT scan for $50 million. That's 10 CT scans right there.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. And we're not talking about something that's going to break down. You're talking about something that's decent. That can
Durable.
be a workhorse, durable. You know, it's a shame. And I just came out of a meeting with Southeast Regional Health Authority, and the whole point of that meeting was to make it seem as if because doctors and technical people choose the equipment, it justifies paying exorbitant prices for it. So if I tell you I want a cheese patty, and you go out and pay $5,000 for the cheese patty, you want to come back and say, well, you were the one who chose the cheese patty instead of the chicken patty, so you cannot complain about the $5,000 for the patty. These are the things that are going on in health, and it needs to stop.
My God.
It's a very sophisticated, it's either some people are very incompetent,
Mm-hmm.
or they have a very sophisticated level of corruption going on. But it can't be that you have the same names being called all the time and an exorbitant amount of money being spent with these names. And every time you mention it, you hear that everything is above board. And I look through the whole process, and it looks above board until you see where they can fix that process to work for them.
Dr. Dawes, I want to repeat it. So you're going to say after 9 years, tomorrow, they're going to open one room.
One room at Cornwall. I've seen the room pretty, you know, Andre. Don't get me wrong, you know, pretty room.
So when people see that, I'm going to say, whoa!
And they're going to take a lot of pictures, and they're going to cut ribbon, and they're going, you know, have the cameras there, and they're going to have people in positions with computers looking like they're doing work. You have the nice PR shots. You're a PR man. You used to work with them. You know it go.
Dr. Dawes, you know, the Bible says, come from amongst them.
But you know, our river bottoms there, man. Them a go something that them a go work the room, them a go issue nice press releases, and people going to say things going on at Cornwall. And they're not going to show the rest of the building where there is no A&E, no kitchen. There's pure concrete. And drywall just going in now. Yet there's a big opening ceremony. And somebody asked me if I'm not going. Why are you going to waste time go down there for that? When we have the proper opening for Cornwall, we will be the ones opening it.
My wisdom warriors, Christopher Tufton and Andrew Holness are two big corrupted men. You hear me? Lord Jesus. Christopher Tufton, where is the $750 billion? Where is the $700 billion? Wait there. I know you not answer to that, you know. I know you not answer to that. My wisdom warriors, me tell about these people. Take a look at the screen. 21 billion spent on Cornwall Hospital was due to cost overrun. And this was in 2024. And yet other day they come back and ask for 5 billion. Every time when budget read out. Every single time when budget read out. 5 billion, 5 billion, 5 billion. When you hear them the figures there, that's all they come out and do, read out figures. That's all they good for. Mighty God. Hey, them terrible, you know. Them terrible. But my people, I want to listen to Christopher Tufton. Hear this.
The minister says the $21 billion associated with the hospital project is a projection rather than a final cost. He explains that other facilities had to be created and refurbished to accommodate patients even as work continued at Cornwall Regional.
We had to create a hospital around the hospital, which is the other misconception about the 21 billion and its expenditure. First of all, we haven't spent 21 yet. It's a projection, okay? It involved a plan. It was a parallel plan. One was to strip the main building down to restore it as a modern building. But every single thing in that building will be new when it's finished. And the second, which was more important at the time, was what do we do with the 450 people who are in beds in the hospital? A hospital is an essential service for those who don't know. It's a 24-hour, 7-day a week, 12 months of the year service. You can't just stop it and wait until you build a new one.
Dr. Tufton says equipment and fixtures are now being installed at Cornwall Regional. He says not by any measure can the situation at the hospital be assessed to be a cost overrun.
Firstly, to date we have spent 3.5 billion as said on the screen. This year we're projected to spend 5.81. That's because this year we're now putting in the internals of the building. All the designs are complete, so we have 5 brand new operating theaters that are going in there. This is how the waiting area will look, the wards will look, all of those designs. And we had to do new designs because there was a shell, there was nothing. It's just the building and the entire floor was empty. And the team are busy, including the technical medical staff at Cornwall, have now signed off, and we are now getting to that point where you will see floor by floor being reopened. This cannot be considered a cost overrun.
Dr. Tufton says those who criticize the work being done at the hospital are only insulting the workers.
So when we speak about Cornwall in this kind of disparaging way, it is an insult, I believe, to the people who have been involved in the process, the doctors and the nurses. It is an attempt at discrediting the government. I mean, we went through several project managers. Then we had COVID, so literally the project stopped for 2 years. Then we had to wait and build out parts to move people in. It is a classic case of case management around crisis, but it's also an example of what a position not to get into. I think it's unrealistic for those who make claims around expenditure to misunderstand that somehow the 21 billion, which is yet to be spent, is because of cost overruns. It is rescoping, and rightfully so.
Mahir.
You see how him wicked and terrible Christopher Tufton, you hear him? You hear him? My wisdom warriors, this take place May 2024. And how much money on a thing spend? How much money on a thing spend? It passed over 21 billion. It passed over 21 billion. Over 9 years now, you know. 9 years now, them a build Cornwall Regional Hospital. I believe it was from 2016. From 2016, and only one room ready. Hey, oh Jesus, Jamaican people, wanna make Andrew Holness and Christopher Tufton have on taxpayer money and do anything they want to do with it. I wanna not say nothing about it. Wanna just quiet as a lamb. Only the PNP people them alone are speak out. Only the PNP people them alone. That means say everybody else alright with Andrew Holness squandering the money. And enriching himself. You don't see say enrich Andrew Holness and the administration and enrich themselves. You don't see what go on. Anyway, my people, wanna tell me what you think about that and put an honest opinion in the comment section. Take in this.
Just because you get back your 1 year visa, you have to run up your mouth, so man. Just pull him out, man. Yeah, man. Have some respect, man. Have some respect. Please.
My wisdom warriors, I say when I see that video, I say I have to share it with Uno. Uno know how Marky you talk to. Daryl Valls. I say, it's sweet me, my people. Hear it again.
Just because you get back your 1 year visa, you have to run up your mouth, so man. Just pull him out, man. Yeah, man. Have some respect, man. Have some respect.
Marky G make me laugh. Marky G say, yo, not true because you get your 1 year visa, you come and run up your mouth. Eh? Have some respect. Lord Jesus, we have to come to show this with people, but I just say me a listen. I want to like up this video, I want to share it out and subscribe to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Pick up on a nice piece.
Marky G, you know you the people them really want to see a great leader who will talk to we. Put on the boat and go, they go walk to we. Yes, go march to we. Because we have some guy with them on a intention. Leading the country in the wrong direction. That's why we come to make we own a selection. This we are gonna do when in call the election. Vote them out cause them no see we when we hungry. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out cause when they win them a go down pray. So we are tell them promptly people just vote them out cause them no see we when we hungry. Vote them out from Kingston to country. Vote them out cause when them win them a go dump way. We have to tell them